power from my head to my feet. Yeah. Run up on me, baby, so you gon' see. I did not chase, I just attract. What you put in, you get back. I'm screaming Campbell, then still hit the dancing and wherever I'm at. Feel like a champion, mamba mentality. I am the masterpiece, life is the craft. Deep love me and I can't resist it, but I'm only guilty of slipping too fast. Life is by legacy, what lies ahead of me, helping to get peace with this past. Little bitty regular that I pack, 007 before you react. Don't think twice, my only advice for my granddad before he passed. Look to the stars, look at the sky at night. Tell me that heaven ain't black on everything I love. Try not to brag till you bring it up. Tunnel vision, block opinions, and I can get what think of us. Duck, jab, hooks in it through the roof with an uppercut. Tell the truth, shut the devil up. In the booth, I'm untouchable. Crazy thing they with me. Yeah, crazy thing they with me. Run up on me, baby, so you gon' see. Yeah, got power from my head and my feet.
Yeah, alright, my flow sinister. This ain't rap music, this straight literature. Small-minded, all your ideas miniature. They tend to hate on you when they can't get rid of you. I ain't going nowhere, 20-year career minimum. Call Hit Boy for beats, ask for 10 of them. I don't follow trends, I swing the pendulum. If the bag good, I'm gon' give her some. Let's reflect times, I try to collect minds from complex rhymes. And by the way, shout out Tech 9. Go and shut the up, just let me talk. I'm a time bomb that's waiting to go off. Quite nuclear, amazing what fame could do to you. Too peculiar, although I'm truly a renaissance starter. My mind divine, it take me a lot farther. Growing up, I really had beef with my father. But why bother explaining my feelings? Try harder, but either way they gon' paint you the villain. 8 months with no phone, dog, we aiming for brilliance. High level maintaining the building, we making a killing. Alright, my flow sinister. This ain't rap music, this straight literature. Small-minded, all your ideas miniature. They tend to hate on you when they can't get rid of you. A wise man told me that silence never betrayed him. Keep your mouth shut, cause got ultimatums. Stupid situations, the tongue often creates them. The motor mouth is usually causing mayhem.
Lil' tune, flow sinister, I'ma finish him. Many men gon' need ministers, I'm aiming them. Enemies, I'm the enema. I'ma on them, just like my keys, drop my on the dinner work. My thoughts I keep confidential, it's consequential. Philosophies unidentical, I'm not into you. My Siamese brother Benjamin, that's how I stick to him. These diamond bees, all BBs, I call them Vivica. Skating underneath the bridge, stay hustling as it is. Make money, feed the kids, ain't nothing in the fridge. Wake up, repeat the sins, 8, I need a 10, stay muddy to the lid, 800, eat it.
Yeah, alright, my flow sinister. This ain't rap music, this straight literature. Small-minded, all your ideas miniature. They tend to hate on you when they can't get rid of you. I ain't going nowhere, 20-year career minimum. Call Hit Boy for beats, ask for 10 of them. I don't follow trends, I swing the pendulum. If the bag good, I'm gon' give her some. Yeah, alright, my flow sinister. Yeah, alright, my flow sinister. Yeah, alright, my flow sinister. Never lied in my rhymes, you can go ask Jennifer, that's my mom's name. I create and find change, my mind frame ensures that forever I'll reign. Yeah. Turn me up. Yeah. Hey, check it. Okay, I feel unstoppable. Losing's impossible. Go against the team, the thing they know not to do. Right.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Cleveland Browns and the Washington Commanders. The veteran Joey Sly set to get us started, and we are underway in our nation's capital. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. Calling no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. This Washington defense, Charles, terrific in the victory a week ago.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
An early message that this secondary is going to be tested because even though it fell incomplete, it almost felt like a warning shot to get things going.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Watson now to throw. Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football.
A part of why they came to this week with a winning record is that they feed off of mistakes like this, and now it's a prime opportunity. Just moments in the game to get a short field touchdown off of their big defensive play. Now on the other side, they were already the underdog in this one. They just made their uphill battle just a little bit tougher.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Hal to the air on 1st and 10. Target is to Dotson, and he's got him. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by John Johnson. And the Browns are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line.
Well, Brandon, as they say in popular culture, this one's going to leave a mark because they can see the end zone, but it'll stay out of reach because of their error. All their offensive teammates have to give the quarterback right now, offer a little bit of encouragement because what's done is done. Let's get them next time out.
The Browns drive about to get started. Remember last time out they threw the interception on their first drive. Good news, their defense, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. It's Tariq Castro-Fields who picked it, and the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw, and his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
They'll go play action. Howell. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder in the ball carrier, and down he goes.
The Browns drive about to get started. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Faking the give. Now Watson. He's got a man. Complete. Yeah, he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 34.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
On first down, it's Watson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Jonathan Bostic leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
To try again after the sack, Watson. And here's another interception, the third of this first quarter. It's Tariq Castro-Fields who picked it, and the Commanders are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. So a nice play defensively by the rookie, coming up with the INT.
And that's a late-round pick right there, making a first-round impact. And a lot of these day 3 corners end up winding up on special teams and sub-packages and even on the practice squad.
And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown! I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass this young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed, aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen. And it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
So an early 10-0 lead for him now as they kick it away. And here's Jakeem Grant from his end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. The Browns drive about to get started. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. Despite some tough running, he's still wrangled down shy of the 15. And credit the tackle to Percy Butler.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. On first down, Watson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's Tariq Castro-Fields who picked it. Oh, this is just crazy. He's got 3 interceptions, Charles, and we haven't even departed the first half of this ballgame.
I think if you're looking at the stats right now, you're saying, all right, who's the leading receiver? Well, can you flip it around and say that maybe he is and could be for the game the way that things are going right now? I think if it's him, he wants to be on the field.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And the Browns are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line.
A tough adjustment to the NFL throughout his rookie season, and his problem with turnovers is only exacerbated by his early showing today. That's a couple for him here in this first half, and he's cleared the double-digit mark for the entire season.
The Browns drive about to get started. They got the ball now following a big play, keeping the other guys out of the end zone. Now they'll start deep in their own territory, 1st and 10. Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
Almost feels like anything you can do, we're going to try and match or do better. We've already seen one touchdown pass from the opposition. They tried to equal it on that throw.
On 2nd and 10, Watson, man open, that's Anthony Schwartz. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down. Now it's Watson. And boy, another ill-advised throw there as that will wind up incomplete. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave.
And now here's another interception. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. That is now 5 interceptions that he has thrown in this ball game. If I asked you to speculate what's possibly going on in his head, what would you say?
Well, if he's as mentally strong as I believe he is, he understands that not all of these picks have been his fault. You know, some of the throws, yes, but there have been a good number of them where he hasn't been helped by his own receivers, and they've turned into interceptions. So he knows if he keeps firing.
Touchdown, Washington. Charles, every time that he makes one of these plays, I think the front office, they get a bigger and bigger collective smile because they feel more confident that they have found their guy, their future at quarterback.
And they should feel that way. It's obvious he's a big part of why they have such a good record this season. You're right about the bright future as well, and by association, a bright future for the franchise too.
So an early advantage now and a good one. 17-0 our score as they kick this one away. The return from his end zone is Grant. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up. Oh, Chubb fumbled it. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And he is going to bring this one back to the house. It's a Commanders touchdown on the scoop and score. Well, Charles, not only did they fumble the football, but they're starting to fumble away their chances here a little bit. We've got a 3-score ball game now here in the first half.
And the last thing you want to do, partner, is help the other team with what are avoidable turnovers. You want to hang on to the football because you're already playing against a good team. You're just making it easier for them by giving them extra opportunities.
Extra point by Sly is up and good. We are in for a good one as we're through one. Sly set to boot it. The return from his end zone is Grant. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Browns drive about to get started. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Now a first down throw, Watson. Over the middle, complete. It's Hunt. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Give him 30 yards there.
And this offense needed something to try and seize the momentum a little bit. That might have been exactly what they needed. Now they have a chance to go downfield and score and cut into the lead.
Now a play fake, and it's Watson. And this one is incomplete.
It certainly looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That's a big force incompletion there to bring up 3rd and long, and this defense can still salvage a little momentum by forcing them to kick a field goal, because just a few plays ago, they looked like they were headed towards the end zone.
And they'll send the tight end in motion left. Watson looks to throw again. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Cameron Curl. And the Commanders are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. But to be frank, CD, this is getting tough to watch. I mean, you feel for him, but 6 interceptions, that's at a whole new level. It's not a good level.
It makes it tougher and tougher to come up with ways to try and support him. But you have to as a team because you can't just throw your quarterback aside. You're going to need him later on. But it reminds me of a time that a former defense coordinator.
He's got it at the 15. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line. We saw this plenty last year in college. He loved to take his shots downfield, and that throw, that was a thing to behold there. Throwing here, Howell. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Curtis Samuel, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Commanders continue to pull away here in this first half. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. On the return from his end zone is Grant. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder in the ball carrier, and down he goes.
And now here's another interception. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. The number 7 usually lucky here, not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he'd won a Heisman Trophy in college. So sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career. But when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer the last to do it in 2000. Dotson has it. Touchdown, Commanders. 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Commanders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. On the return from his end zone is Grant. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. Now they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And my goodness, another interception. And the Commanders are going to have great field position here. Just shy of midfield. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. Flush to his right. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. The play fake, and now here's how to throw it. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Good defensive call right there because they had someone shadowing him along his entire route. And he was right there ready to provide a hit that prevents him from making another catch to his big start.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Howell. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. John Johnson with the INT.
Well, it's not the first time we've seen him give one up here during his rookie season. And in this case, zone coverage forced the mistake. He's made some strides week to week in how he's handling the different type of coverages that he's seeing. But clearly, there's some growing still to do.
The Browns drive about to get started. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and finally kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. And incomplete on the deep ball.
That's a really good job in execution. They avoided the flag downfield and avoided giving up yardage for free. Really good coverage.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Here's Brissett. And this throw will be intercepted. It's Tariq Castro Fields who picked it. And the Commanders are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. Charles, are you kidding me? 4 interceptions? I mean, that's a good season for a lot of defensive backs.
A lot of reason to get voted into the Pro Bowl. When you have 4 in one game, that means talk about a campaign slogan, right? I got 4. Send me to the Pro Bowl, guys. What a game we've experienced watching this one.
Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Slings this deep from McLaurin, and he's got it inside the 10. And he's going to be out of bounds here all the way down inside the 10. A big play there just before halftime. 45 yards.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
Dotson has it. Touchdown, Commanders. A great effort there as the first half is winding down. And the Commanders will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And the rout is on here in this first half. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. On the return from his end zone is Grant. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it. Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
Well, for incompletions on first and second down, it certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on third down.
On third down, Brissett. And he'll only get this to the 17, well shy of what he needed. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The final two quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. Out there set ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Second half starts with a run by Gibson. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid type player. Half defensive back that covers passes, and half...
And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. A huge play there for Washington. And even 40 yards. First down, Howell to throw. And that is incomplete.
I know tight ends love this route because a lot of times they'll fake a block first and get a little bit of space and then come across the middle because in their mind, they're thinking catch the ball and then drop the hammer on the little guys in the secondary.
Unable to drop the hammer, he just dropped the pass. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. And a nice milestone reached on that last throw as here late in the season, he goes over 4,000 yards passing.
And he's really thrown the ball well all season long. Had some big games along the way. He's inspired his receiving corps to go out and make plays for him in each and every ball game.
The quick slant caught. Touchdown. Jahan Dotson. His third touchdown of the game, number 16 on the season. And the Commanders take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. On the return from his end zone is Grant. And they're going to start in a hole as he's brought down at the 11.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Browns drive about to get started. Here's Nick Chubb as they try to fire up this run game. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
They run again on first down, Chubb. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. And again, it's Chubb. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. This defense just continues to bottle up that ground game. And look, I mean, the deficit right now for this offense is so big that it might not matter. But you're still in the 3rd quarter. They're probably going to have to try things through the air, Charles.
I agree with you totally. That's what they'll have to do. They do need to run it occasionally to take a few hits off the quarterback, because right now, you just know those pass rushers are fired up to get after him.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On first down, they'll run with Chubb, and he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. It's Tariq Castro-Fields who picked it, and the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. And yes, folks, that is his 5th interception, a new NFL record.
And that's absolutely phenomenal. I just have to flat out applaud him. What a great effort in this game. But let's face it, when you look back at the numbers of guys who had 4 in the past, you'll find the names of some of the greats and some guys who just had a fantastic game.
Powell's throw complete to Dotson. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Now they go play action with Howell. Dotson has it. Touchdown, Commanders. From 17 yards out. And the Commanders take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points. The extra point by Sly is up and good, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. On the return from his end zone is Grant. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. The Browns drive about to get started. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized. Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Jamin Davis. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. Well, they definitely figured out something defensively at halftime, Charles. That's now 2 drives and 2 interceptions here in this 3rd quarter.
And I think the easy thing for us to say is, boy, they made an adjustment, didn't they? Or they showed him something different. I'm not so sure it's that as much as maybe he's just been impatient and forced the ball a little bit. In any event, as you noted, back-to-back interceptions thrown.
A big play that time on the catch and run, and it's going to yield a new set of downs. Powell. And this is taken in for a Washington touchdown. Curtis Samuel, his second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Commanders are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. On the return from his end zone is Grant. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And it's a big turnover there on the final play of the Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. On the counter, Gibson. And he's in. Touchdown, Commanders. Antonio Gibson, his 11th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Commanders extend their fourth quarter lead, and they are closing in now on a 14-win campaign. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. On the return from his end zone is Grant. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. On 1st and 10, Watson. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Benjamin St. Just. And the Commanders are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth quarter lead. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. He's got a man, complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Powell to the air on 1st and 10. Middle of the field, he's got McLaurin. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there.
Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Touchdown, Washington. 2 yards on the touchdown there. And the Commanders add 6 more to their point total. And they're on cruise control right now here in the fourth. The extra point by Sly is up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.